What's up, YouTube? So today's topic, I'm gonna talk about what makes what makes what makes soulmate slash twin flame slash spiritual connections, or it could be any connection in general that's very intense, that you seem like you can't shake that person off your mind, or like you feel this person's energy, or you just have that like energetic soul tie, or like the energetic tie to where like no matter what you do, you just can't get that person off your mind, or like this person's heavily on your thoughts or on your aura or on your energy, right? So I've experienced this a couple times with a couple people, and this shit is hard. Like this shit is really like challenging, because it's like when you have an intense bond, intense connection with someone, it's hard to shake that off. It's just not like one of like a mundane, because it's hard to explain, because it's a spiritual connection. It's not like there's this between like, because all connections are spiritual, especially like I'm not talking about where like you meet your soul tribe and you two get along and then you can't get this person. No, it's more like romantically, where like you meet someone from the same soul group, and then you two connect. Then like you can't shake this person off your mind, and you feel this person's energy. You feel a lot of sexual energy, a lot of like your nervous system acts up, your nervous system overstimulates. Now, so I've done some research. Supposedly it's like your kundalini rising. It could be your chakra systems aligning up, or you're purging out a lot of trauma from what you've experienced in this lifetime. It could be from past lives. It could be family generational trauma, or even that person's trauma as well that you're purging out, all at the same time, or either at the same time. That could happen, and or one at a time, or just either one. And I'm not sure the other person does the same thing, but who knows? But yeah, but so that's how intense it is. So that's why you get stuck. This is why, because the purpose of it is to heal. And me, like, I struggle with this a lot, because especially with like abandonment and shit like that, even rejection. So like how it will play out in these connections where I have that soul tie, the energetic bond. It gets tricky, because I'm not sure if these baggages are coming from mine. I am aware I have these some traumas and issues that I need to work on in this lifetime that I've experienced, but I'm not sure if it's from past lives or my family's generational trauma. I'm not sure if I'm purging out them because I'm getting it, or if I'm purging out the other person's trauma. So it gets tricky. So because I feel like I purged that shit out from my trauma back in 2017, 2019ish, when I was connecting, when I had that spiritual connection with someone. But with this person I'm currently spiritually connected to, I believe, it's like I'm experiencing the same thing. Is like whenever this person will leave, it's like, damn, like I feel like a part of me is lost, or like I feel like I feel lost. I feel like a part of me is broken, or like I just feel it's kind of scary too, because no matter how I try to hold it in, it's like I'll have moments where I'll just burst out crying or grieving. It's fucking grueling. Even like when I'm like during school, where I'm busy throughout the day, it's like I gotta get things done. I can't really like fall to my emotions like that. And me, I consider myself usually as like a headstrong guy. Like I don't usually let my emotions distract me. Like I'm usually kind of structured and disciplined like that. But with that connection, is like I can't shake that shit off. Even with other spiritual connections, that's how intense it is. There are times where like during break in school, like I'll just cry, and I'll just go in my car, start like breathing and bawling my eyes out, just crying a lot, and it was so painful that my heart started hurting. Or like whenever this person would leave, is like my heart will hurt, like I feel heartbroken, or like a part of me left, or like that I'm feeling all these abandonment issues. I'm not sure it's from my trauma this lifetime, from my family's trauma, or from like other past lives, but it just feels like all that shit is thrown at once. This shit's intense, and it's like my whole world just feels different. It feels upside down. It's just like, oh my god, man. So like there's definitely been like, ever since that connection I had with this person, there's been a lot of grieving, a lot of crying, a lot of like releasing emotions, fears, trauma, and stuff like that, like rejection, abandonment, and probably some other shit that I need to work on. But so it gets tricky. So I don't know. Again, I'm sure obviously it's mine, because I'm in this connection, but it could be from past lives, from my family's generational trauma. But yeah, but it was just insane, because like I know I'm all over the place. But it's just like, because whenever I'm spiritually connected to that person, it's like I feel all these emotions, and I get so emotional, and just like my emotions are all over the place. Like I'm purging now, I'm detoxing a lot of like baggage, a lot of trauma, and just shit that I didn't realize I was holding in. And I'm like, damn. But one of the good things about it is that like once you don't feel it, the thing with these spiritual connections, it's on and off. Mostly you feel that person's energy, and it gets intense where you can't even sleep, you can't even focus, you can't even function properly. That happens at an extreme level, but it comes in waves, it comes in patterns. And the other days where like you don't feel that person's energy as much, and your nervous system isn't affected as much. And days like that is pretty blissful, because then you feel good about yourself. You feel like nothing really triggers you. You feel good. You feel like you have more, like you're more grateful for life, with me personally, I feel more grateful for life because I know what it's like to be energetically stuck and have my nervous system all fucked up and all controlled and shit like that. It gets kind of scary where it's like it gets overstimulated. Then my emotions all over the place. I started crying, bawling my eyes out and stuff like that. These spiritual connections. So in days where like I don't feel that person's energy, when that person's not on my mind, days like that is where I feel happy because I don't take it for granted. Because I know at any given moment I can feel this person's energy, my nervous system will act up, and then I'll start purging out all over again. It can happen anytime. So days like that, I'm more grateful. I have a lot of gratitude, and I try to, and I is able to make me enjoy the present moment a lot more. You know, but not only that, but like I think once you start purging, days and months where like you don't feel that person's energy no more, it's like you feel more like you feel more light, you feel more lighter, you feel more relieved, you feel like you have less emotional baggage holding your back. I'm not sure how to explain it, but it's like you feel more lighter, like inside your body and stuff like that, because you're purging, you know. And then once you do that, you're able to act like yourself more. Even Chance, when he talks about that, like with him, he does yoga, he does like fasting, he's trying to become a Breatharian, he does breath work, and even he talks about like the more he does that, like the purpose, like he feels more free, his nervous system feels more regulated, like he's able to express himself more, and he feels like a lot more himself. Check out Chauncey One's channel, he talks about that. So yeah, so when he talks about like him being himself and healing the nervous system, it makes sense because I feel like I'm kind of experiencing something similar but different. And even Chauncey once said like we all have different missions. It's the same illusion, the same energy, but different situations. He even mentioned that, and he's right. You know, so yeah, I get what he's saying, but it's just like, man, this shit hard though. Like it's being on a spiritual journey or like just healing generational trauma and healing your nervous system. This shit takes work. This shit is not like this shit is like a lifelong thing. But even when Chauncey once said like part of life is not about just healing. You try to heal all of your shit and then do this and that, A, B, and C. No. Your healing is lifelong, so you have to do A, B, and C and do things and take risks and live life while healing. Healing doesn't stop, it's ongoing pretty much. That's how the human experience is. And when Chauncey mentioned that, he's right. You know? But like, yeah, but it's just crazy, man. Like, it's insane. Like, looking back, like, holy shit, because today, right now, I don't feel that person's energy as much. I still think about this person still pops in my head. It's still intensely, but I feel like my nervous system, my body's kind of adjusted to it. And the reason why I know what's going on because I've experienced these types of connections before, back in 2017, when I believe I met my twin flame back in 2017, and that shit was ongoing until, because I kept crying and grieving over that connection from 2017 all the way to 2020 and a little bit of 2021 and 2022-ish, because I was still trying to purge out a lot of shit, and I never thought I was going to get over it. I never thought that, but I did. But it took me like 5 to 6 years, or 4 to 6 years pretty much, and that's how intense the trauma is of constant purging. But it's an energy. So the thing with twin flames and soulmates, it's an energy. So it's not just, oh, you have one twin flame or you have one soulmate. No, it's an energy. It's hard to explain. It's an energy. New Mind Frame talks about this, other YouTubers. It's an energy. So that same energy, it could transfer to anyone. If you have that soul contract or you're meant to learn lessons with that person through a relationship, romantically, then that energy can transfer to that other person. And then once you two interact or connect, it's going to intensify and shit like that. And there's why people say like, oh, I might have 2 twin flames, or I might have 3 twin flames, or I might have another intense soulmate. Yeah, it's how it is. It's not one soul split into 2. It's more like an energy. It could be that, but I'm not sure. I really don't know. I gotta be honest, I don't know. But it definitely is an energy transfer. Because that same energy I'm experiencing with that person, I've experienced that shit back in 2017. I think 2017 is kind of more intense though, because obviously I was new and like I had so much baggage and more trauma. But since I purged all that shit out for all these years, I have less baggage, but I still got baggage. So that energy was transferring to that person so I can heal that trauma bond pretty much. It's pretty much like a trauma bond connection. A twin flame, a soulmate, these karmic situations where like you're purging out all of your emotions and a lot of grieving and crying. It's pretty much a trauma bond pretty much. But it's more, obviously it's different, but that's pretty much what it is pretty much, because you're purging all your shit. But yeah, but me, I'm still purging, but I feel a lot more better, and I feel more lighter. But like, it is scary though. I'm not gonna lie. This shit, like, it's trippy. Like, it's just, damn. Especially, and then you got time speeding up. The days going by a lot faster. Like, it feels like you're living a fucking dream. But prior to me, that person, like, even to this day, like, I'm still around this person. So like, I'll still see a lot of like synchronicities. I swear to God, I feel like I'm listening to music and I listen to the lyrics, and it just, it just correlates how I'm feeling towards that person, or like how our connection is. It's like we're giving each other messages through songs and shit. Like, I don't know. I could be tripping. I could be making it up, but I don't know. But it's trippy. Yeah, but so if you're experiencing these intense connections where like you can't get this person off your mind, you feel like you're feeling this person's energy, just know that you're not going crazy. Me, I've done a lot of research, I've done a lot of studying, I've watched a lot of videos about this shit. I'm still learning. But basically, just know that no, you're not going crazy, and the purpose of it is, and yes, your nervous system is overstimulating. If you were to talk about this to the average person, even your family, your close friends, more than likely they're not going to understand it. They're not going to get it because they're not experiencing themselves. One of those things where you have to experience it to know what you're talking about, because it's spiritual. It's not like, because the thing with spiritual, it's hard to explain to people about spirituality or spiritual concepts or certain spiritual concepts unless they experience it themselves. You know. So, and that goes along with these connections. They could know what you're talking about, but I want to say it's rare. It just depends on the person. But at least for me, if I talk about these connections, I mean, I don't know. Maybe people do understand. I don't know. Maybe I just need to put myself out there more. But if people don't understand, just know that you're not going crazy. Don't take it personal. Listen to your intuition. It is hard to, because even then, there's no real information confirming it. And even if there is, I understand you can be kind of iffy about it. But like, just listen to your intuition. Try to pray to the universe, pray to God. Do what you got to do to meditate and shit like that. But you're not going crazy. Yes, your nervous system is overstimulating. Yes, you're experiencing rapid heartbeats, and you can't get this person off your mind, and you feel a lot of like sexual energy and shit like that. Yes, you are experiencing spiritual symptoms. But I could be wrong. Don't take my word from it. But based on what I've researched, supposedly you're experiencing this shit so you can purge out a lot of trauma. It could be from either this lifetime and or your past lives, your family generational trauma, the other person you're connected to that you have that spiritual connection. You could be purge out their trauma. You could do all that shit at once, and or one at a time, or like or from one category. That's the main purpose of it, is to clear out trauma and blockages and break generational patterns and curses. Pretty much, that's what it is. Pretty much. And it sucks too, because when things go left, when things go sour, when that person leaves you, or when that person's gone for like temporarily, or even like a sudden death, it's grueling because you feel like a part of you is missing, a part of you is dying, or like you feel lost in life. You feel that disconnect from God, from source. You feel that disconnect, and that shit's a scary feeling. It shit sucks. I know that feeling so many times. I've experienced this shit, still am, and that shit, like, you just feel lost. You just feel like, what's the point of life? You just feel like life feels so dull, you know. But I guess one of the purposes of these connections is to, the same way you feel that person, the spiritual mission or task is for you to feel that same energy even when you are with that person, even that person's gone. The same way how you're feeling, you feel, what's the word, like you feel whole, you feel full with that person by your side and talking to that person. Your goal is to feel that same way when that person's not even here, pretty much. As fucked up, as hard as that may sound, you know. I'm not saying that your person you're connected to is going to be gone. No, I'm not saying that. Or you two might break up. I'm not saying that. Because in instances, yes, you two are meant to be together, and there are instances where they are together. But it just depends on your mission, your soul contract, and your karma and shit, and the things you're meant to learn, because we all have different missions and stuff like that. So that's pretty much what it is. And that shit's hard, because like I've experienced this since 2017-ish. Now we're in 2024. I still struggle with that. So this shit's not easy. This shit's hard as fuck. It really is hard. So you also experience a lot of ego deaths, and then a lot of dark night of the souls. It's crazy. It's very lonely. But I've learned a lot, and what helped me was that, like, I put myself out there more. I try to interact with people, try to keep myself busy, try to find that self-love, try to try to find that connection towards Creator, towards God. Don't be afraid to ask for help. Cry, grieve, release your emotions, release. But also, one of these connections, also what it does is that, like, it helps you find your true purpose, or like it helps you, inspires you to become your true self, to be yourself and to express yourselves. Because with these connections, it inspires you to become yourself. It inspires you to, because with these connections, what I've learned in research, especially with these twin flame connections, the reason why it's so intense and you feel so drawn, you can't shake this person off your mind and your energy, is because that person is you. That person is a mirror of you. The same way you love that person, you have that same shit within you. That's the same way Source, God, the Creator, the universe feels about you. So it makes sense that the main goal is for you to heal trauma that's blocking you from loving you. And once that person is gone or absent, or that person no longer in your life, your goal is to feel that same way that person made you feel, but except without that person. So that shit makes sense, right? And no, I didn't make this up on my own. I got these from other people. I've learned from other YouTubers. Shout out to them. I don't want to take their information, but and a lot of research. So I took all the information, I put it in together into this video. You know, so shout out to them. But yeah, but that's why I've learned, and that makes sense. But like I said, it's easier said than done. You could know what to do. You can know what steps to take, but just because you know doesn't mean it's actually easy, because it's a process. So it's like what Chauncey once said, you got to take, within certain experiences and spirituality and this human experience, you can know what you want, but just like what Chauncey once said, you have to actually follow the certain procedures, certain steps, and certain experiences to actually know, to actually feel it. You know what I'm saying? So you can learn and grasp the lesson. If you don't, then you're pretty much cheating the lesson. And when Chauncey mentioned that, he made a great point, you know. So I applied what he said to what I'm experiencing with these connections, you know. So it is easier said than done, very painful, but I guess from the good sides of it, it does inspire you. I did feel like throughout these connections, even with this connection, it did help me become the best version of myself. Still learning, still growing. Obviously, I'm still alive, so I still have a lot to learn. But without a doubt, I can't deny that I am becoming the best version of myself. I am proud of myself. It teaches you how to love yourself, how to not to love yourself, but unconditionally love yourself. The same way you have that love towards that person, it's gonna force you to feel that same way towards yourself, and that's very powerful, because once you feel that same love towards yourself, it's like you're able to dish that same love energy towards other people, towards your environment, towards the planet, and other people feel the same way, and then it's a domino effect of high vibrational energies and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? That makes sense. But yeah, it's pretty cool though, because it inspires you to like be yourself, to be more confident, and it's not out of ego, it's more out of like self-love. It's hard to explain. Out of self-love, you're more authentic, you're more genuine, you know. It's hard to explain. But yeah, so that's pretty much, I want to say the full purpose. I don't know too much about it, but that's one of the things when you are experiencing spiritual connections and twin flame, soulmate, intense connections like that. But I feel like it is, like, you don't have to be in a romantic situation or these connections to learn these lessons. I feel like other people have different missions and purposes, so that I feel like they learn the same thing but in different situations. This is like what Chauncey once said, the illusion is different, but we're learning about the same thing, but it's a different illusion in this 3D realm, pretty much, you know. So but yeah, so if watching this, just don't give up. Just know that you are meant for great things, and you will get there. Like, again, it's a process. Don't take it personally. I know it's easier said than done. Yell, scream, cry, release anger, do what you got to do. Try to find that connection towards source, creator, or anything that you believe in. Try to pray if you have to, if you believe in prayer. Try to heal. If it gets too much, talk to people, be around people. Talk to like professional emotional therapists or something like that. Just do what you got to do to get through your situation. Just know that you're not alone. You're not going crazy. I'm experiencing this. Other people are experiencing this. There are synchronicities. Everything you're experiencing, just know that, yeah, it's confirmation that, yeah, you are experiencing it. You know, even people who don't understand you or they don't believe you, yeah, you are experiencing this shit is a real thing, you know. But yeah, but it definitely does inspire you to love yourself. It makes your heart a lot more lighter. So once your heart lighter, you're able to forgive more. Not in a bad way, but like in a way where like you just have that. It's hard to explain. Like you have a higher consciousness, pretty much, you know. And once you're releasing these energies and trauma, I feel like it can make you manifest or attract a lot of things you want into your life that you actually do out of self-love, pretty much. It's gonna be easier for you to attract the things you want, you know. And that's why it's so hard, but because you're constantly evolving and growing, and you're releasing a lot of programming, trauma, and stuff like that, so you can reach at a higher vibration, pretty much. That's pretty much what spirituality in life is, pretty much, you know. So yeah, it's crazy. It is crazy. It's powerful too. It's very powerful. It's crazy, man. Cause while I'll experience these connections, man, there's a lot of like releasing, a lot of trauma, a lot of like purging, you know. And then once you get to the other side of it, it's like, damn, I've done all that, or like, you know, you feel better about yourself. You feel more like satisfied. Even Chauncey talks about it. Like he mentioned something like one of the best feelings in the world is overcoming situations, you know. And when he said that, it hits deep, you know. And he's right. Like, one of the best feelings in this world is not getting this and that, but overcoming personal obstacles, overcoming spiritual tests and stuff like that, you know. So yeah, so again, it doesn't have to be connections. It can be anything, because we all experience the same thing, just different ways, and it looks different. It's different illusion, but same spiritual mission, pretty much, same task, pretty much. Shout out to Chauncey when he mentioned things like that. He's right, you know. So yeah, these connections is definitely like, whew, it's grueling, but it's definitely like, and I've seen this too, because I'm not sure if I should mention this, because it really is personal, but I might just throw it in there. But so because with this person I'm spiritually connected to, when I've seen this person the same way I was purging, I felt like this person was also purging a lot of like grief and crying and stuff like that, and I could kind of see, I could sense in that person that I'm spiritually connected to. Obviously, I didn't say it to that person, because it's, you know, but I could see it in her face, in her eyes. I could tell like this, the same ways where I was experiencing grief and a lot of crying, I felt like she was experiencing the same thing as well, because you can feel the energy, so you could tell what they're going through. I feel like they could tell what you're going through. Like you can feel each other's emotions, you know. So if we ever get together, I'll probably talk to her about it, maybe in the future, and to confirm what's going on. But yeah, but I could kind of sense in her, and like I could tell we were both experiencing the same things. So it's kind of trippy. But I noticed like she's more like different, pretty much, prior, like before me and her experience that intense connection. But like even before, like she looks a lot more different in a good way. Where like I could tell like she's healing, pretty much. She's healing. She's more tapped into her heart center, pretty much. I could tell. I could definitely tell. So it's crazy. But that's all I'm gonna say. But yeah, my heart, it definitely feels lighter with these connections and these experiences. I mean, but yeah, but just know that these connections, these experiences, it is powerful. It does inspire you to become more of yourself, your authentic self. And then once you reach that state, you're able to really showcase your God-given gifts and talents, and you're living a life. You're living out a blissful life, you know. And that applies to everyone, you know. Different illusion, same mission, pretty much. But that's all I gotta say, and I hope this video helps, and have a good one. Peace.